Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see some familiar faces. I've seen names, but not everybody's faces.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Jerry Hudson.
I think I'm going to exit out and come back in. The audio quality is really bad on my end.
1, 2, 3.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the first ever JA Fellows Teacher and Volunteer Virtual Training. I am super excited that you're here today. We are doing this live from JA World. I'm very excited that I see some amazing familiar faces that have been with us for, I'm going to say, about 6 years now. I see some new volunteers that are joining the amazing, incredibly talented pool of business people that are mentoring the next generation of entrepreneurs in our community. And I also see some of my colleagues. So thanks for joining us today. Thank you for cheering us up. And I couldn't start the program without saying that we wouldn't be here if it weren't because of the amazing lead teachers that year after year decide to provide their students with this entrepreneurial experience that I feel changes the lives of students forever. I have to share that this year with the unprecedented times that we are living in, I didn't know what was going to happen with our program. I wasn't sure what were the plans. So I went ahead once more and sent a survey out to teachers early July, asking for their feedback, asking them what were the plans, if I may count with them to implement the program. And I was fortunate, blessed, and thankful that absolutely everybody, every teacher that has been implementing the program replied back very quickly saying that they were willing and able to implement the program again, that we would all be doing this together, supporting each other as a community, because it takes a village to provide the skills that we are giving our students through this amazing in-depth entrepreneurial program. So thank you to those teachers that back in July were already on board to say, yes, we're doing this together. And obviously that gave me the opportunity to go ahead and reach out to the amazing mentors that are now saying, yes, we are in this as well. Let's get it done. Let's do it virtually. I will share my business expertise. I will share my community expertise. We are in this together. And nonetheless, we have 3 new lead teachers implementing the program for the very first time. Kudos to them. It's a new program. It's an unprecedented year, and they are on board. So that being said, let's start strong this 6th year. We are actually starting our 7th year, sorry. We've been implementing the program for 6 years now, and we're going to start our 7th JA Fellows Company program here. So thank you to each and every one of you for being in the call. And I can't start without thanking my amazing colleague, Fabi. She is with us behind the scenes, making sure that everything is running smoothly. This is, as I said, at least it's my very first virtual training event, so please bear with me. We, as you all very well know, this is an overview of the program. However, I'm with you the entire year, side by side, making sure that you have all of the tools and resources to provide this extraordinary experience for our students. So with that said, let's get started. We will have a couple of touch points for you to ask questions. We will have a couple of engagement activities. So have your phones ready to answer a few of our questions that we'll be providing. And let's get started. Oh, sorry, ladies. Welcome to the first day Fellows Company Program virtual training. As I said before, this is our first year doing the program virtually. So please, let's take a moment to take a deep breath to know that we are all trying to do our best. We're only human. And I kind of say this from my standpoint. Last year, we had a little bit of some work to do in order to wrap up the program and create the very first virtual JA Fellows Company Program competition. We were fortunate to be invited to the national competition as well. So I know that this is a temporary endeavor. It might be difficult for some, but as I mentioned before, let's take an approach that is collaborative and that we can all help each other. Please keep your speakers muted and to minimize the noise around you if possible. As I mentioned, we will have a couple of Q&A sessions during the training, so have your questions ready for us. If you have any bandwidth issues, maybe closing all other programs might help as well. So with that said, I am going to turn it over to my colleague Fabi to get us engaged with our first activity.
Hi, everyone. So like Martha said, I'm her colleague here at JA. I'm the workforce coordinator, and I'm going to start you guys off with an interactive activity. So if you just pull up on your phones, menti.com, so that's www.menti.com. It should pull up in any browser. It can be on your phone or on your computer, actually. And it should prompt you to put in a code. The code you can see here at the top of the screen, it's 6043639. And we're just going to start off by gauging how you all are feeling about implementing the Fellows program this year. So it'll ask you for 2 words, and as you guys start answering, we'll see them on here.
Can you repeat the code? I do not see it on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 6043639. And we're getting some answers here. Exhausted, which I think we all can relate to after all of these months. Excited.
Bobby, can you also repeat the site?
Yes, it's www.menti.com. Menti.com. And the code, one more time, just in case, is 6043639. And as you guys see them coming in, so the biggest words are the ones that the most of you have said. So excited is the biggest one, which is awesome. We are all super excited to get the Fellows program started and implemented. We see nervous, curious, interested, optimistic, which is, we really appreciate that. Thank you. Is everybody getting on here well? Awesome. I see some more coming in.
Can you
I love it, Fabi. The question is, how are you feeling about implementing the JA Fellows Company program this year? And I see some of the answers. Interested.
Are we supposed to see the
Nervous.
answers?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Are we supposed to be able to see the answers?
Yeah, you should be able to see it on the screen.
We can't.
What are you seeing on the screen?
Now we can see it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so we have excited, interested, optimistic, amazing, motivated, loving it. Thank you guys. We'll give a few more minutes for a few more answers. But we're all feeling super excited and super motivated, so thank you guys.
Thanks, Fabi. That was awesome. Love it.
Awesome, so I'll throw it back to Martha so she can continue the training. Thank you.
Thanks, Fabi. That was great. So guys, just let us know if you can't hear us or if you don't see the slides moving on. Just please let us know, even though we're here at JA World and we have about 3 laptops in front of us, we would love your feedback. So, alrighty. So let's get started now. The agenda for the day includes a couple of details about what's new with the company program. The new program rolled out this last August, so we're super excited about it. I will share the new JAA guidebook for volunteers and teachers. We will actually do a demo through our online learning platform so that you get familiar with the actual program, and we'll talk about the regular components of this program as far as e-commerce, bank account, and taxes. Remember, this is a real business we're getting started, real product or service, real dollars, real bank account. We will go over basically what is expected from a JA meeting every week. We will share more details about meeting number 1 in our online platform, and we'll share next steps. Remember, the program will start the 2nd week in October after we go over the JA Fellows Student Retreat. As always, training and support will be available the entire year. What's new with the program? Well, we have updated the actual curricula. This has been done by JA USA. We're very thankful and excited to share new resources for our students and for our mentors. We have a few more implementation models that will be available upon request. However, this training is reference to our JA Fellows program, which starts in the month of October, ends in the month of April, with hopes to be invited to the national competition in the month of June. We will have other opportunities to join the program in January of 2021, maybe, and hopefully in-person programs that will allow the students to implement what we call the JA pop-up model, and I'm happy to share more information about that if you know any teachers that might be interested in that specific implementation model. We have in classroom delivery and remote delivery. We'll be focusing on remote delivery only, as we very well know. This training is for the first 5 sessions, and we will make sure that everyone understands that this is only a virtual program for now. We have subject matter expert guide, volunteer guides, and I'll talk a little bit more when we dive into the online learning platform demo. We have pacing guides for teachers that might be interested in our extracurricular entrepreneurship activities that they may decide to implement, maybe not as part of our program, but maybe for them to have additional curricula available. On-demand training videos and for volunteers and educators, everything is included in the online platform. Interactive self-guided learning topics for our students. We also have additional material for students who want to have maybe a deeper dive in relationship to entrepreneurship topics that they may decide to do on their own as a self-guided activity. And this year, this is something exciting and new for every teacher that has already done the program in the past. We have revamped our finance workbook. It's a new and improved step-by-step workbook that I hope that you find absolutely amazing. And we will do a quick overview of that workbook today. We will talk about it as the program gets started. But these are some of the new features, and I'm very, very excited to share with you. We rolled them out nationally last August. However, I'm honored to be part of the JA National Advisory for this program, and we've been working throughout the year in order to have this new implementation model started. So very, very excited. one more component that I just mentioned, but I just want to reiterate. We are doing our virtual training today, very excited about it. However, we are recording this, thanks Bobby, because some volunteers couldn't make it today, and that's okay. We still have a couple of weeks before the actual program starts, right? The student retreat is scheduled to be on Friday, October the 9th. We hope that all of our students are able to join virtually and live. However, we understand that sometimes the schedules don't work out, so that virtual training will also be available via recording. However, the program actually starts the following week. That's the week of Monday, October the 12th. That's when teachers and mentors and students will meet for the very first time, right? That means that we have about 3 weeks before the actual program starts. And those weeks will allow you, teachers and mentors, to get together, to plan, to schedule the meetings, and to actually get the program started the week of October the 12th. So this is actually a slide that I included because I wanted to have that very clear. We have time before the program actually starts to plan our sessions and collaborate before we are in front of the students. All right, a quick program overview. This will be this meetings and milestones chart. It's also new, and you will receive it via email shortly before the end of the week. And I'd love to share this with anybody that is interested in knowing more about the program. Today, we will talk about the different activities that the students need to do in order to get the program started. So let's get started with the first 5. These are the first 5 sessions, meaning 5 weeks where students actually get the program up and running. They get to decide what product or service they are going to implement. They get to do some market research. They create a structure, meaning they select the leadership team within their company, right? A president of the company, a vice president of each business unit. They actually launch the business. So this starts meeting number 1, which is called Start a Business, as you can very well read. That will happen the week of October the 12th. That's when we, students and teachers and mentors, get the actual program started. The next portion of the program is called Running the Business. That's meeting 6 through 11. That's when students already have a business up and running. They've elected a product or a service. Now they're selling. They are, depositing monies in the bank accounts. Finance people are working hard to keep up with all of the sales that they're hopefully doing. This will happen by the end, mid-November. Hopefully selling time is Christmas season and also the beginning of January, right? This is what students will be doing when they're running the business. This is right after they have launched the business. And last but not least, they start looking into the liquidation process and how they're going to move forward with their own personal plans now that they have gone through the experience of being entrepreneurs. And this is the time when they actually get prepared for the JA Fellows local end of the year competition, which happens in April. Last year it happened in May due to the unforeseen circumstances. And we also get, hopefully, students prepared for the national competition. So these are the 3 main blocks where we have to focus our energy on. Today, this training is focused on meetings 1 through 5. We will shortly log into our online platform, but I just wanted to first let you know that when you log in, you might see quite a few volunteer and teacher guidelines available, and you can see them to the left of your screen. I would like to reiterate that please don't get caught up in all of the resources available. We're going to be focusing on this one, the digital or the printable guides for volunteers and teachers. You'll have the opportunity to scan the QR code available or to print the PDF file that I will shortly send to you via email. That's what we want to focus on. The pacing guides or the subject matter expert guides are available for you as well, and they are in your online platform. However, if you teachers are interested in that, we can talk about it at a later point, and I can share more information about it. And the subject matter expert guides are available for people or volunteers or mentors who are visiting the students for a one-time only. For example, if you have, and I know some of your student companies have, say, a mentor that is interested, or that it's or that is an expert in public speaking. Well, maybe that person will come once, and this guide will basically provide an outline of what we would like that interaction to look like, right? The volunteer will share his or her experience in public speaking, provide a couple of pointers about that, maybe prepare the students for their Shark Tank competition in November, and that's about it. So that's what the subject matter expert guide looks like for this program. However, let me reiterate, and as I did with, sorry about that. And as I did with that red huge arrow, that's the guideline that we'll be focusing on. And we can see it again in this slide. It's called the JA Company Program Guide for Volunteers and Teachers. I'll be sending you a PDF document. It's pretty long, so maybe you want to print what you need for the first 5 sessions. And you can also go ahead and scan that QR code in your cell phone so that you have that guide available at all times. And if you want to have an even better experience, just keep your laptop or your computer with the actual on-screen slides that the students will see, and you can obviously, read the talking points that the mentor guide will give you from your cell phone. Just a few pointers, and I know that most of us are already, working in this new virtual environment, but the guide is very specific and provides all of the talking points and all of the suggestions needed. So very excited about this new material that JAUSA has put together for us. And this volunteer guide actually aligns the visual elements that you can see on the left of your screen, which I call PowerPoint, with the talking points to the right of your screen. So it's very easy and straightforward, and it's just a matter of giving yourself some focused time to look at the talking points and the PowerPoint presentation to your left to see exactly what's going on when you see your students in your next meeting. All right, so now we are actually diving into what a meeting looks like, and we will do this in a minute in our demo, but I just wanted to ensure that, I know it's very self-explanatory, but I don't think it hurts to tell you that, one, you will see a couple of blocks that say that the activity is a required activity, and another that say that the activity is an optional activity. So obviously every activity that is required is directly related to the implementation of the student company, and anything that says OPT, which is optional, is something that students may do on their own, or you can assign it as homework, but it's not necessarily directly related to the implementation of the student company. That's one component. The second component is every time you see a pre-survey or a post-survey in the online platform, it is okay to disregard that, because at our National South Florida office, we have our own pre and post test, which we obviously use in order to secure funding from from grants and foundations that provide funding for us to implement the program here in South Florida, in Broward County, in South Palm Beach County. As you probably know, this program is completely, there's no cost for this program at any school, private, public, or charter. So please help us out by asking the students to fill out the pre-survey and the post-survey. That's another one of the activities that should be completed before the start of the program in October, the week of October the 12th. And thank you so much for the teachers who have already done it. I have received a couple of pre-surveys already completed virtually, so thank you. And that's basically it. That's what I wanted to mention in regards to some of the components within our online platform. Another amazing new resource is that we have a tab that you can click on, where you will find all of the materials and resources that you need as fillable PDFs for all of the meetings, and also the supplemental resources for students to work on their own or as homework. So we'll go over this. It's very cool. Some of them are videos, some of them are fillable PDFs, some of them are interactive sessions, which are basically, I call them PowerPoint sessions. So we'll go through that in a minute. I just wanted to ensure that I went over the new details within our platform. This is the JA Connect Learning Platform. that you guys might have seen before. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the program per se. As I mentioned before, money is an actual real component, and the capitalization maximum is $750. So no company may fund for more than $750 in order to get your company started. To be honest, most companies start with much less capital for them to get this program started. If you have any specific questions about this, just let me know. And the capitalization options that we have available, you can read them there. We absolutely love for the students to have some skin in the game. So if they are all business owners, that's even better. And I must say that the default option that most schools have been using in the past years is the shares or stocks. Basically, students get to print the shares or stocks that are provided within the online platform. You decide what is going to be the price or the cost for each one of your shares and basically get your program started that way. Obviously, there are other options nowadays, GoFundMe or Indiegogo or outside investment. It really depends on what works best for each of the student companies. Any questions about that? We can talk a little bit about it in a minute. And I just mentioned this. You will find all of this information in meeting 4 with your resources. Obviously, you may customize your the cost of your share depending on your needs, and you obviously want to track your investors and their investments in the finance workbook. You can tell I'm super excited about that finance workbook because it's going to make your lives much easier, I promise. Again, have the students invest in their own company, and obviously, you know this, but we just need to remind the students there's always a risk. So they win or they earn more money, or guess what? They just earn more experience. So very happy about that. Sales, cash or check, and okay, in these unprecedented times, obviously we have to be mindful of what product or service students may choose, and we will be actually working with JA USA on a one-to-one basis, because as you know or may not know, we need to approve any product or service that the student companies will be choosing to implement, right? Students cannot set up, I don't know, a daycare or cannot sell cookies that they baked in their own kitchen. We have to ensure that this product or service is approved by our insurance company, and the sales process may include all of these online platforms that you can see in front of you. However, each company is responsible for setting that up. I'm happy to provide any information you need from JA South Florida in regards to documentation needed for accounting purposes. Again, we will walk through this. We can talk about this obviously throughout the year as you start using these components and you need further information. The marketing requirements, I've always shared with you guys that please make sure that you mention that your company is a Junior Achievement of South Florida Fellows company. Nowadays, we're using social media more than ever, so please ensure that you tag us, that you include us, that you let people know that you are part of a program that is implemented all over the nation. We have more than 700 student companies implementing this program every year. So we want to ensure that students know that they're part of something bigger and greater. Public relations. Well, here at Junior Achievement, our marketing team requests me and everyone involved in any of our programs to let us know if you're going to be contacting anybody from the media. We just want to ensure that our message and our brand is stated in the best way possible. So please let us know if there's anything we can help with. We can have our marketing team draft a pitch to the media. Just please keep in touch with us. I will definitely keep in touch with you throughout the year. These are some of the organizations or companies that you may use. I mentioned them before. Corporate social responsibility guidelines. Obviously, we're teaching students not only about entrepreneurship, but also about giving back to the community. And one way to do it is for them to donate 10% of their net profits back to the Junior Achievement Organization. This will allow us not only to provide the program, but also to offer scholarships at the end of the school year. So please take that into consideration when setting up your price points for your products or services. We will set up real bank accounts for each and every one of the student companies that requests. I understand that some schools or some high schools will not allow teachers to use external bank accounts, and they are required to use your own bank account or maybe after school club accounts. That is an option too. We just need to talk about it and make sure that we are following the parameters that we need to follow when we implement this program. There is a document that I will be sending out to teachers for them to sign, and there are a couple of steps that we need to take into consideration in order to set this up. There is a signature card, there is a copy of some documentation. We'll just go through the process. It's not a difficult process, it's just something that we need to do in order to set up a small business, which is what we're doing now. But this year with the new finance workbook, the liquidation process will probably be much easier, and we will definitely talk about sales taxes. I think that is coming up in my next slide. Well, no, not yet. So this is the actual outline of the schedule in order for us to set up your bank account. If at all possible, if you could please let me know by the middle of September, which is next week, if you're planning to use a JA Fellows BB&T bank account. I will be waiting for the documentation needed, which is the signed document that I just showed and a copy of your ID by the end of the month. That way, by the middle of October, which is actually the week when we start the program, I'll have all bank accounts ready to go with a balance of $100 and obviously give you access to the online bank platform for you to overview the implementation or any activities within your bank account. As I know we have, had some issues in the past. I'm always here to support you. I'm able to actually recreate passwords for that. We've done it in the past, and most, if not all of you, have my text, my phone number, my cell phone. So I just, reiterate that we are providing each and every possible resource for you to have a smooth banking experience with BB&T and with online banking. So that's basically the deadline for us to get the program or the bank accounts set up. The actual schedule to liquidate the company is approximately April the 30th, the deadline to close the bank accounts. By the end of the month, we hope to actually have, by the end of May, we hope to have all of the bank accounts balance back to 100. So we give all of our shareholders and anybody receiving a check from your student companies the possibility to cash those checks prior to actually closing the accounts. So we definitely will keep in touch in regards to anything you need in regards to all of the bank accounts. There is a cost related to handling a bank account. There is a 5 monthly fee to use their online platform, and if you need checks, well, there is a cost as well. As much as I'd like to plan everything, I just wanted to ensure that everything is obviously subject to change. We just never know when things changed or happen or things happen. So just want to make sure that you know that there is the possibility for things to change, but we're always working in this together, you and I. All right, sales taxes. All of our companies, unless they are a nonprofit organization, are subject to paying taxes. 7%, or I hope that hasn't changed, but 7% is what we pay here in South Florida or in Florida, along with the social corporate responsibility, 10% of the net profits. So please ensure to take that into consideration, as I mentioned before. Also, there is a letter to the investors with a short summary of how the business did throughout the year. And please mail those letters or checks to the JA of South Florida office, attention to me. And if any of this changes, do not worry, I'll be able to share further information about liquidation when the time comes. Alrighty. As I mentioned before, there is a process to approve the product or service that the students will be electing for their company. There are 2 forms that I like to include within the process. There is a creativity form, which I hope that students take into consideration before they decide what product or service to choose. And then there is a product approval form, which I actually need to submit to our national office. You're more than welcome to send me an email and tell me, hey, Martha, we're considering this. What do you think? And I'll run it by our office really quick, or by our national director of entrepreneurship and see what his thoughts are. If it's, for example, an app that includes information about, sensitive information that we do not want high schoolers to have, well, that's something probably that will, require further research. Therefore, you do not need to fill out a product approval form for each and every idea you have. You're more than welcome to let me know, and I'll make, a quick call. But we do, at the end of the day, the product that you want the organization to consider, you do need to fill out that form. And I'll be sure to remind you that via email, and I can also remind the students that we need that form filled out in order for you to move forward with your product. I strongly suggest that you guys do not take a step forward before that product is approved by our national office, before that form is approved by our national office. You do not want to buy products from, I don't know, from China or any source where you are buying your products from before you have this form approved. Just want to make sure that that is very clear. Intellectual property policy. Obviously, junior achievement does not claim of any intellectual property. The IP ownership would fall into public regulation. Upon conclusion of the program, the students must liquidate all assets and close down the company. In regards to the third point, they may close down the company from us, from JA of South Florida. However, they may continue with their business operations, as each and every component within the company belongs to them. I know some of our most successful companies are still up and running, and I absolutely love to see them in Facebook, how they're still selling and they're doing great. So this is just something that I'm required to talk about during training, but just let me know if you have any questions about it. And post-program, we are considering inviting some of our student companies to operate individually after June 2021. This is something that our office here in South Florida is considering. And we will, give you more information about it. Each company would be reviewed on a case by case if it's actually something feasible that we may implement. That this would mean basically to invite student companies to keep running under the Junior Achievement of South Florida umbrella. Not that the students need to be working for us, because most of the students will probably go to college or maybe graduate, but they could actually, we could actually keep the company working and students receiving their royalties. So it's something that is on the works. It's something that is being researched, and hopefully we might have good news for next year. We're also in conversations with angel investors that might be interested in obviously investing and taking the companies to the next level. And we are also considering offering summer internships or job shadow opportunities for our students. We have an amazing board that, and we have a new program, the Summer Youth Employment Program, that we, might be able to offer this to our students. So this is just something that we are considering, and I will absolutely keep you informed of next steps. All right. So now let me talk a little bit about the roles and responsibilities for us three that work together and collaborate in order to make this happen. The JA staff, which in my case, it's me, but honestly, we are an entire team behind this program. We could not, this is definitely not a one-person show. We have amazing people like Fabi right next to me, helping out today. We have just amazing people that are making it happen. We're all very, very proud of what students do, and they're doing it in their classrooms, but we know that it all starts right here. It all starts with the teachers saying, yes, we're gonna do it. The mentor saying, okay, yes, I can bring in my expertise. So we at JA will recruit, train, and support the educators and the mentors throughout the year, not just today. Every single time you have a question, we're always here to make sure that all of the companies are on track. I'll be sharing in a little bit the snapshot or our suggestions on how to implement the program in regards to dates and times and following milestones. Obviously, we have to ensure that bank account and e-commerce and all of the student competitions and signature events are ready for students, for them to have a great experience and to have a deeper knowledge about what to be an entrepreneur is. So the volunteers or mentors, they are required to please attend this training. Obviously, the ones that are here today, yay, we're super excited. The ones that are not here will be receiving a recording, and then we'll be setting up a phone conversation for me to answer any questions that they might have. Also, we ask volunteers to plan their sessions before they join the students, and also to be sure to schedule the sessions that they and the teachers need to have before actually starting the program. And obviously, this could be a phone call, this could be a quick Zoom meeting, but just making sure that you understand before and during each one of the meetings. And obviously prepare technology. We are going to be asking teachers to send you an invitation, but you just need to ensure that you have, your laptop or your cell phone, you have everything that you need. And also lead and facilitate the meetings. This is a collaboration that you and the teacher will decide how best to approach the program. And obviously contact me for any questions that you might have throughout the year. So that's basically what we ask from volunteers and mentors, and teachers like today, attending the training, setting up the schedule for the sessions, at least for the first 5 sessions, and share whatever online platform you'll be using with the mentors. And if you want to include me in the meeting, hey, go ahead. This time it's easier. I don't need to plan to drive everywhere in order to at least say hi. This time I can, via click, just join you and be a resource and answer any questions, especially during the first 5 meetings that are fundamental in order to get this program started. So, so teachers, that's what we are requesting from you. Just prepare for the meeting, obviously, lead and facilitate meetings. That's again, something that you and the volunteer will be deciding to do, and bring the real business world to the classroom. That this would be for volunteers, so I'll make sure to change that. But hey, who says that a teacher can't do that too, right? I know some teachers have an MBA, that they've already been, in business before, or they might even have a business right now as a side hustle. So everybody is welcome. And again, obviously contact me with any questions. Thank you so much. Amazing teachers that have been doing this forever, and that we are texting throughout the year. I have such level of respect, and I'm so very thankful. So that is what we are planning to do in regards to roles and responsibilities. Again, quick overview of what the program would look like. We will be focusing on the startup and launch. That's what we're asking when I say 5 meetings. Teachers, please schedule the 5 meetings. These are the 5 meetings that I'm referring to. Start a business, meeting number 1. Meeting number 2, solve the customer's problem. That's a little bit of market research, right? Find a problem to solve. Number 3, evaluate the options. What is it what exact product or service are you guys going to do? To implement. Number 4, create a structure. Again, select the leadership team, the 5 kids that will be representing the organization, right? And number 5, actually launching the business. That's what I mean by 5 meetings. So perfect timing for us to get it back to Fabi with our Mentimeter activity.
Hi again. So we are going to go back to the website that we were at earlier. If you still have it open, then it should have already switched to, yeah. So you can ask your question. So we already have one question in. I'm anxious to hear options for students making their products given current remote meeting guidelines.
Perfect. Thank you for the question.
Wait, you're muted.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for the question. As I tried to mention before, all right. So as I mentioned before, yes, this is an unprecedented time. This time I am not including the list of unapproved products, because guess what? We have to take it on a case-by-case scenario. Yes, we might decide that we would only like students to implement products and services that are virtual products and services. However, that has changed throughout the days. I've been receiving information from our JAUSA office that, yes, even though at first we were trained and we were informed that all of the products or services would have to be online, this time there are opportunities for actually tangible products to be approved. So anything that you guys are thinking that might work, as in, for example, I know that there is a school that is considering taking over their school store in order to sell T-shirts and hoodies with the school's logo. I know that that's an activity that they might be able to do without actually even touching the product, right? They're going to outsource the product, but they are in charge of creating the marketing and all of the other components in relation to that specific product. And obviously this will be sold at their school only. And that actually works as well. Our program, yes, we are looking for creativity and innovation, obviously, no doubt, but in this unprecedented times, we just have to be flexible. We have to be understanding. This school will be working as an inside company within the school, and that's okay too. So if you have any, I mean, and I was obviously talking with some of you guys about the possibility of implementing online services, as in, for example, what if we decide to create a digital marketing company for high schoolers to provide digital marketing services to small businesses within their community? Or what about having students teach about how to use social media to retirees who might not be, well versed in how to use LinkedIn or how to use Facebook, etc. So there are some services that could be done online as well, and that is something that I have a feeling that might be approved as well. So we are open to creativity, to innovation, but under the parameters of the Junior Achievement program. And for that, we have to take it on a case-by-case scenario. I hope that answers your questions for now, but as I said before, we have to take it day by day. And let me know if you have any other, questions in regard to that, and we'll follow up on a separate meeting with our national office. What if we return to school? Well, that would be great. If we do return to school, I would still ask volunteers to keep their commitment for the first 5 weeks to a virtual component. If students may go back to school, actually we have some schools that, some private and public charter schools that are doing a hybrid model right now. That means half of the students attend school 3 days a week and the other half attend school the other 3 days a week, and vice versa. So for now, I would request volunteers to keep their commitment to attending virtually those JA fellow sessions. I'm conducting the pop-up pilot that will run through December. Will there be a separate training information for this course? No, there will not be a specific session for that course because the actual curricula is the same and the online platform is the same. We do need to ensure that the milestones are modified for you. So I'll be sure to contact you about that, or you send me an email about that, but no, there's no other training. And if there was another training, it would actually be shorter than this one. Everything else is exactly the same. Correct, yes. As schools open up, obviously volunteers will be obviously more than invited to go inside the school, prior coordination with the lead teacher and following guidelines from Broward Public Schools in regards to volunteers visiting the schools. Please let me know if that is the plan. I just want to ensure that we have all of our documentation in to meet our students in our classrooms. All right, no more questions from the audience. That sounds good. So let me see, what time is it? Oh Lord, 10 to 5 already. Let's let me start sharing my PowerPoint. Thank you, Fabi. Alrighty, the moment we've all been waiting for. We are going to do our platform demo now. You will be logging into learn.ja.org. You will have your username and password. Don't worry about it, as I will be sending that to you via email shortly. And your students will also be receiving your online credentials. The way that I share student credentials is I will send you, lead teachers, an Excel spreadsheet that will contain the username, which will look exactly in the format that you have in front of you, JAA student dot and a specific number. And then the password is exactly the same for every student. They'll have obviously the opportunity to change it when they log in the online platform. So as soon as you send me your student roster, hopefully in an Excel spreadsheet, I will be enrolling your students in 1 or 2 business days. So let me know any questions. We are super excited for the students to start checking out the online platform and start navigating and getting comfortable with it before the October 12th starting week. Already. Ooh, this is super exciting. We've been practicing, so let's see how this goes. So bear with me. I'm going to alrighty. So I'm hoping that you see the JA learning platform, which is right here. So after you enter your username and password, you'll see this. You'll click on your JA learning platform link and you'll go to your JA Connect learning platform. You will click on programs. You will only have one in here. And I'm going to click on it right now. Super excited Wi-Fi is functioning properly at J World. Sounds great. Alrighty, to your left, all of the tabs that you'll be using. And I know it's going to, some things I've said already, but I just want to ensure that you know that you have multiple volunteer resources, lots of them. Guess what? Don't worry about it. We're just going to focus on the first one, okay? That's the guide that you and I will be working on. This guide, you can, as I said, you can scan it, you can download it, or you can just wait for my email and print that PDF. It's called Guide for Volunteers and Teachers. There are so many others. There are so many others that you do not need to worry about unless you bring a guest speaker. There's another guide right there. You click in there, you click it. I know it seems that it's going to open a video. It's not going to open a video. It's actually opening a Word document that you may download, okay? So I'm going to do a quick overview first before I actually go into details. Pre-program survey. Don't worry about it. As I mentioned before, you'll see a pre-program survey here. You will see a post-program survey there. We do not worry about those because that information would go to our JA national office, and we need information here, right? We need grants and funding for our local office. So we need to know exactly what your students are doing, what your students have learned. So hopefully they're not, hopefully the pre-survey and the post-survey has some knowledge gain, which is exactly what we're looking for. But more importantly, to be honest, what we're looking for is attitudinal change as well. So the post-survey, if you have actually checked it out, the post-survey has attitudinal questions as in, have you learned the importance of teamwork? Do you have any plans after school? And those type of questions that will actually let us know if students have changed their minds in regards to studying or following a career, or maybe going to trade school, or maybe going to college, but also learning about 21st century skills and how important it is to be able to communicate well, to be able to collaborate as a team, to be a team player, to be resourceful, to be a problem solver, to be able to pivot anytime that there is, this huge pandemic or something like that happens. So really, really excited, but do not worry about pre or post-its within your online platform. Then you'll have meeting 1 all the way through 14. We'll go back to 1, don't worry, we'll do it in a second. I want to show you this. Materials and resources, really cool. All of the materials that you see there Most of them are videos. As you can see, here is a finance workbook overview. It's a 5-minute, really cool video that I am actually going to.
Welcome. In this series of tutorials, we will review the JA Company Program Finance Workbook. This file contains valuable information to guide you in tracking and calculating your company's finances. This set of tutorials will guide you, but be sure to ask your instructor if you have any additional questions. We recommend that you review each tutorial before you start using the workbook. The workbook in the order of the worksheets. Tasks. And some only.
Alrighty, so that is a quick 5-minute video about your worksheet. There is a video that is a little longer. There is a video about break-even and profit analysis, tons of videos, and also interactive learning resources, as in what I like to call PowerPoint presentations. So really quick overview. Some of them have videos as well. Some of them talking points. So for example, if you were to invite a guest speaker to prepare your students for Spark Tank competition in November, maybe they decide to use this resource. So lots of resources available. Vision and mission statements, another learning resource, market research, competitive analysis, marketing plan, anything needed is actually pretty cool. And you can actually get an overview of every resource divided by category. Startup, finance, leadership, divided by business unit. I'm really excited. This is an amazing curricula, guys. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. And the finance workbook, really cool. I think somebody asked if I was going to provide the online credentials. Yes, I am, via email. For volunteers and teachers, you'll all be receiving your online credentials by next week. And your students' credentials, I need to receive the rosters before sending you the online credentials. Alrighty, so credits, feedback. Oh, and I also wanted to show you something really cool. People, if you click on people, you will see the people who are actually in the classroom. So these are my colleagues from the National Advisory, which I absolutely love. And well, we've all been logged in as Martha Rios as learners. Then you have the opportunity to actually do some conversations. So maybe you all want to testing two. You want to start a conversation within your team. Well, there you go. And you can actually see the activity that you've been doing. So I was super happy to start on August the 20th, which is when the JA National Office launched this new online platform. Very excited. All right, let's go back to let me know if there are any questions in the chat room about this, just in case if I'm, I don't know, going too fast or something. All right, let's go to our meeting one. And I know I mentioned it before, but I just want to ensure that you check out what I mentioned before. OPT, JA National Student Leadership Summit, or REQ, Go Be an Entrepreneur. Guess what? Obviously required. We really need you to do this and go over the details. And OPT, it's optional. OPT, the JA National Competition. So this is a little bit of, giving the students some incentive. They might be able to make it for the national competition. So just ensure that you actually do the activities. There is a document to download. So let's just dive in really quick. Meeting one, start your business. This is actually an icebreaker that you may or may not decide to do, just because guess what? Your students already know each other by the time they start this program. So the information is there. The warm up, it's a really cool little activity that you may do. Then there is an overview of the program. And as I like to say, this is the quick, you can obviously full screen this. You're seeing this full screen, cool. The objectives, topics, discussion, and you will get to see in your volunteer and teacher guide, you'll get to see a snapshot of this actual PowerPoint and then the talking points that you want to share. So you as a teacher, okay.
Students are really creating their own company. They're making their own products, they're selling their own products, they're learning how to sell the business to people.
They'll give you a bank account, a helper from, a local business, and that's it. You have to develop your own product, you have to create positions, you have to finance your own company. You need to find something that, there's a large market for.
Everything we teach is business, but we teach them how to apply it to life too. Break-even analysis, you need to know when to cut your losses, what you need to do to get there. Cost-benefit analysis, probably the prime example. It's just a pros and cons list. Any decision you make in life should always list, here's the good things for me, here's the bad things.
All right, just wanted to show you that there are videos included as well, and I'm happy you heard them. This is the meetings and milestones that I will also be sending you via PDF. So yeah, let's go back to our actual online platform. You can download this document. So let's see, I'll show you that if you click here, you'll open another, it will open in a new tab, and you can go ahead and click here to download it and save it. Alrighty, let's go back to our optional JA Student Leadership Summit, really cool video about this opportunity for students. Oh, well, video and platform. And
we have some questions also that came in. Is there a specific browser that is best for the platform?
Okay, so I've only been using Chrome, and I have not been informed of any glitches as of now. If you do, one of my slides contains the help desk information for the JAUSA office. Contact me first. If I can solve it, we'll try to, and if not, you are always welcome to contact them directly as well. But for now, I haven't had any issues. We've tested this through with our national advisory. So for now, my recommendation would be Chrome. Cool.
Another one. For each meeting, is there a teacher guide and matching student assignment that can be posted for remote learning?
For each meeting, a teacher guide. Okay, your volunteer and teacher guide is one. So it's one guide for both teachers and volunteers. Yes, there are activities that may be posted. Ideally, the activities are after the meeting, unless you decide to hold a JA Fellows, say you're going to hold more than one meeting per week, right? We are asking mentors to attend only one meeting, a 45-minute meeting. If you're going to see your students prior to the volunteer attending the classroom, yes, you're more than welcome to obviously give your students homework, or for example, here's the I, Me, My activity for session number 1. You may download the activity, fill out, and the students get to fill out this, this PDF document, save it, send it to you. I guess I understand the question as far as, yes, you may give your students a couple of activities before they actually meet with the volunteer, yes. However, I would encourage you to give those activities while you are in the classroom, if that makes sense. Any other, okay. Alrighty, so let's, alrighty, so this is one of the activities for session number 1. Fillable, you can save it, and actually you actually do need to ask students to save it, because this activity will allow them to create the volunteer will allow students to decide what business unit they would be a best fit for, right? Depending on what adjectives they chose for themselves. So let me go back to the actual curricula. So we're still in meeting number 1, and I promise this gets easier. You might see a lot of resources for meeting number 1. It's going to be less and less for meeting 2, 3, and 4. We're just providing as much information as possible in order for the students to have a very good understanding of what the program entails. Rest assured that our main goal during student retreat is to give the students an overview of the expectations for this program. This specific activity talks about funding and the different sources of capital that students would need to do in order to capitalize their company. Another optional activity, entrepreneurial myths and facts, envision yourself as an entrepreneur, post-meeting survey. You don't need to worry about that. As I mentioned before, unless you as a teacher would like to use it for your own purposes, that is great, but it's not something that I would be requesting or that would be part of any of the competitions. So do you have any questions about meeting 1? Meeting 2 is much less, you see? There's only 4 required activities, a brainstorming idea document to download. Meeting 2 is shorter. Meeting 3, well, SWOT analysis, super cool information, guys. Really, really, really exciting. And as I mentioned, some of these resources are interactive learning resources. Some others are documents for students to download. Business research form, product approval application. This is the document that I was mentioning at the beginning of the presentation. We definitely need this document to be filled out by your students and sent to me in order for me to forward to our national office and get the program started. Okay. Meetings all the way to 14, program survey resources. All right. If there are no more questions about this amazing resource, which you can see I'm super excited about, let me get back to my PowerPoint presentation. Cool. All right. So yes, as I mentioned before, you log into, after you receive your online credentials from me, you will log into jaaccess.org or jalearn.org. Don't worry, I'll send it in your email. You click on JA Connect, you click on your program, you click on meeting 1. This is just a quick recap. Meeting 1, find out what resources you are interested in. Obviously, just do the required ones if there is not enough time. Only focus on the guide for volunteers and teachers, the first one, digital or printed. Printed, I will send you the PDF form via email. Digital, scan. As I mentioned before, online support available all the time. They're amazing, honestly. They're super, super cool people. They pick up the phone. They are in Colorado. Cool, nice, helpful people that if I can't resolve the issue, they will resolve it for you. And I don't know if we need to actually do some QA, if we already answered some of the questions. We're good? Alrighty, so if we are good, let's keep going. JA Fellows, signature events that we put together for the kids. Every year we are very, very proud to showcase the results of our program, not only at the national level, but obviously at the local level as well. So for us to have those students prepare, we work really hard to give them even extra support and activities and resources and knowledge that the students can use throughout the year. So that starts with what we call the JA Fellows Retreat, which in the past was hosted at Nova Southeastern University, one-day leadership training where students got to meet all of the other students. So we had more than 500 students join us, amazing guest speakers, keynote speakers, a panel of JA alums. So we are going to try very hard to replicate this event in a virtual setting. So that's happening very quickly, October 9th. Then we will have the weekly meetings get started, as I mentioned before, the week of October 12th. Then we're planning to have Spark Tank Week between November 16th and the 20th. I'll share more info about it in a minute. Then we will host our virtual, our boot camp. We don't know if it will be virtual or not, but that's happening on Friday, February the 21st. And last but not least, this will be a Saturday, April the 3rd, when we celebrate the accomplishments of these amazing students by selecting their first, second, and third place for our Companies of the Year. Obviously, I am just putting that these dates are subject to change. We just, we just want to ensure that, that we follow guidelines by Broward County Public Schools, as always. This is a snapshot. So this is our suggestion on how you can implement the program. We are sharing with you the milestones and the actual weeks when you can start the program. This is a suggestion. Once again, this is our suggestion. We are allowing you to customize a program to best fit your needs, you along with your mentors and your students. However, I do hope that we are all part of the amazing events that we're putting together for you guys. Students love to see and to interact with students from other schools. I know that for a fact because that's what I get from every post survey that that we request information about how we can, do better. So this will also be in your email. This snapshot, as I mentioned before. So next steps, we are getting close to wrapping up. So next steps for our amazing lead teachers, please, 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 between now and the end of the month, I do need that student roster. So first name, last name in an Excel spreadsheet would be great. In 1 or 2 business days, you will receive your online credentials for your students. I will also ask you to please ask your students to fill in the online application. That is the Junior Achievement of South Florida website. There is an online application for our students. We need to ensure that every single student is recorded there. So I have received some schools already, so thank you. You know who you are. It's about 4 schools that students are already registering. Love them. Pre-survey, as I just mentioned, we need the students to fill out that pre-survey. We need that information because if not, our development team will be asking me, so hey, what did you do? So please have those students fill out. It's a Microsoft form document. Very easy, straightforward. I think it's 5 questions. Students obviously don't need to prepare. Actually, I prefer they don't prepare for those questions so that we actually see the results by the end of the year. And I will be asking students to register for the retreat just because we want to have some numbers. We're planning some breakout sessions where students get to, do some group activities and we just need numbers in order to plan, better. So I'll be sending that out pretty soon. Our amazing volunteers, again, between now and September 30th is basically set up the schedule for those 5 meetings, be flexible and, we need to adjust. So please, be in contact, teachers and volunteers. If I have to be there, if you want to invite me, please do so. I'm more than happy to join the planning session now that it's virtual. I'm going to be, I think I'm going to have the opportunity to be closer to the companies and that just warms my heart. I can't wait. And obviously review the online platform. We already did a quick review of it. Check out the volunteer guide that I'll be sending you. It seems to be a lot, but really isn't. You just need to focus on what topics you will be talking about. And if you're partnering up with another volunteer, that's even better. You two, if 2 of you are partnering up to volunteer in one school, go ahead and divide the sessions, divide the lesson. Maybe in meeting 1, both of you want to be part of the of the meeting. But next meeting, you can just decide, hey, just one of us take over meeting 2, then the other person takes over meeting 3, and so on. So it's just a matter of customizing the implementation and understanding that this is a collaborative effort, right? It's the mentors, the teacher, and myself working together to implement this program the best way possible. Last but not least, the overview, which already, as I mentioned before, plan to start the week after the retreat. And just a couple of pictures, just to remember what this was like before COVID. Very excited. Leadership, Student Leadership Summit, super excited that to be honest, this slide hasn't changed in years. We are still being invited to companies every year. Super excited, and this is all thanks to you, teachers and mentors. Couldn't do it without you. My information, as always, available for you anytime, any question. Do we have any questions in the chat, Fabi? That is a no. Awesome. Should I be concerned? No, I hope not. All right, guys, thank you so very much. Really appreciate it. I'm still going to be here for you. If you have any questions, if you want to stay along, I'm going to stop sharing now. I'm still going to be around. If you have any questions, really appreciate it. Really appreciate your time today. Love to see those beautiful faces. Really excited. I see some. I'm not going to start mentioning names because then I'll forget. But I see you. You know how much I appreciate you. How much I absolutely love collaborating with you. And let's keep in touch. You'll soon be receiving an email from me with the documentation and mention and introducing you to the mentors that will be working with you teachers, and you mentors will be receiving information the teacher you'll be working with. And if there are any if there's any need to change or to move around, just let me know. We'll make it happen. Now you don't need to drive anywhere. We'll decide on another school that best fits your schedule or anything you need. Okay, so for now I'm going to say bye, even though I'm not logging out. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Hi, Martha, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi, Ginger, good to see you. I'm so happy you're here.
Yes, no, and I was soaking in everything that you were sharing. I know I'm going to have to go back and, the first time you always have to go, go through it.
Yeah, we'll do
I just wanted to
Let's set up another meeting and we could talk. Yeah.
That's great. I will send you that list right away of my students. I believe they're all registered. I had my 2 latest arrivals, so you should have a total of 7. Will the program work with 7?
All right, those 7 have to be rock stars. They really need to be rock stars. The minimum usually is around 10. And in this case, I know that you're implementing something inside your school. That's what I was referring to, right? It's going to be, it's an inside project, and it's going to actually be between now and December. So you're basically implementing the pop-up model, which is a different model than the fellows program, right? The fellows program, as most teachers actually in this call know, because all of them have implemented it. It's a different. It's basically the pop-up model. Okay, the pop-up model is this model. The next one is the company program. And then fellows is company program on steroids. So you are actually starting, you're doing great, because this is your first year, because Tony has, moved on. And it is great for your school and you to start with that program. I love it, because you'll make a decision next year to see if it actually works for you, or if you want to move on to the company program, or if you want to move on to the fellows program. I mean, Calvary has been implementing this program for 6 years, and they have done, the fellows program each and every year. So now that we're starting, this is a new partnership. You and I are partnering up for the first time. And I love that we are starting from A, and we'll see where we take it later.
Right.
And also, I remember you mentioning that your sales team might be other students as well, right? That you were probably might consider having your sales force not be those 7, but others. Is that what I heard, or am I maybe?
No, because I wasn't really sure. Now that we have the class list, really, the outside really was the structure to give us a medium to sell our products. We have there's a website, there's a school store sports clothing website that's already set up in place for kids to like buy their PE clothes, buy their spirit packs for all the athletics teams. So there's a way where we could add a product maybe to that and make it easy for people to purchase the product online without having to set up our own website or something like that.
Exactly. So you basically have your sales department outsourced.
Right.
That's why I think it's going to work perfectly fine. Because
Okay.
your 7 are going to basically be working everything else, all of the other departments and leading the company. You might have one person overviewing the sales through the different channels. So I think we're going to be fine. I mean, as I mentioned before, it's such a different year, and I do want you to have a taste of what the program is. And I think I think you have the resources to help those 7 kids through those sales channels. So I feel that we're going to be okay. And if not, guess what? We might need to pivot at some point. If anything, let's just we
wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't be the first time. And guess what? We're here to do it. We have the resources to do it. And I know Tony will also be able to maybe share. So.
Yes, the whole course structure has changed. So I'm not even going to see these kids until next semester. So, I mean, I'm not even going to see these kids. I'm going to have a whole new batch of kids. So these are like the pilot kids where we can kind of test how it works. And then I do have a bigger group. I believe it's somewhere between 10 and 20 kids for next semester. So it might be a little bit easier to spread the work around next time.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I'm happy we're starting with this first, with this pilot basically between now and December. We'll get it done. Let's set up a meeting, Ginger. Let's chat next week or something. Is that cool?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'll send you out my roster and then we can touch base. And this looks really good. I think this is going to be really, now that I got to know the kids that I'm working with a little bit more. A couple of them are really gung-ho entrepreneurs. Some of them just like the idea of learning about it, but they're not quite sure if they ever want to run their own business. So this will be a good learning.
This is a great experience. I promise it's going to be great. Thank you, Ginger.
Okay,
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Any other questions? Hi, Jerry.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining today.
You're welcome. I just stayed on because I figured I would let you know. I sent you an email back regarding since I don't have anything assigned yet. So I signed on today mostly just to understand what was involved in the specifics of the 5 sessions, since I didn't do these last time. And so that's fine. I mean, it looks like it's really just the weekly sessions with the teacher on those particular topics. And so if just shoot me back an email and let me know.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yes, probably joining 1 or 2 mentors. So that'll be great. I have some schools that I'm really trying hard to get, teams to collaborate. So that's awesome, Jerry. I really appreciate it. And we have to continue the partnership next year, with each side. I know we will. It's going to be great. And I wasn't surprised. That's usually the path that happens. They end up, after they test the program, they end up creating an elective. So that's what's going on. Yeah, that's what's going on in Calvary, in David Posniak. So yes. yeah, we'll be fine. I'm just happy that you're joining us, and also, I'm willing to give back to, there are some other schools that just parents would not be the volunteer profile that we're looking for this program. So
right.
The fact that you can join us in those schools it's very, very valuable. Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
My pleasure.
We'll be in touch. All right.
Okay. Thanks, Bobby.
Bye.
Thanks, Martha. Bye.
Bye.
Martha, I didn't want anything. I was just hanging on to here any last minute. I'm doing my roster right now, so you'll be getting that this
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll be happy. We're very happy to, do a turnaround really quick for that roster.
Yeah, we will. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Great you too.
Thanks.
Thank you. Miss Katia, Miss Kay. I think she's not in. Miss Kay, did you leave us?